Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, exciting. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.
Hey y'all, come on in the room. Come on. Let me cover the girls up. Hey y'all, come on in. Welcome to the night shift. Welcome everybody. I'm Paulette. If you're new here, welcome to the neighborhood. You are lovingly known as neighbors here in the Brownstone. I'm the owner and founder of BrownstoneWorldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and yep, you guessed it, Brownstone Living Magazine. And we are live on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different platforms, one of which actually includes my TikTok family showing love over here. Carnitas and cheese. I know about pupusas. I don't think that's what my mother called them. But that sounds amazing right now. So yes, come on in and let's go ahead and get started so we can get into the night shift tonight and prepare to talk about some things. So a couple things. If you are not on TikTok, normally what I do is go live on TikTok first and set up everything else so we can go live on all of the other platforms together. So you guys that are on TikTok, y'all got to take like a little tour, like this little space and how we have stuff set up for props and stuff and whatnot. And I try to keep it at least a little cozy in here and whatnot. So we had a little conversation. We're shouting out some birthdays today. Shout out to Devon. Happy birthday to him and Rosemary, who is celebrating a birthday as well. Big shout out to you guys as well. Definitely wanted to do that. And everybody is talking about what they eating and what they drinking on. So let's go ahead and get started so we can jump into it because time now is 9:17. Let me tell y'all how long we were on here yesterday. 2 hours and 33 minutes. 2 hours and 33 minutes. If you don't believe me, you can catch the replay on YouTube. That's what you could do because it's already there under Brownstone Worldwide. You might, Billy, you might need a little moonshine, a little something to kind of catch you right there. All right. So couple things we're going to talk about. JoJo had a question, and we're going to be talking about something that the mayor of Chicago talked about, which is a general strike. What exactly is it? And what are people expecting to get out of it? So hold on just a minute. Okay. And it's getting chilly here, y'all. There was a fire across the street from my house in the woods. I had to call the police and fire department. Okay. So let's talk about what a general strike is. From my personal experience working in HR, and in that space in labor relations, a strike is exactly what it sounds like, and it is the cessation of work, to stop working. Okay, so a general strike in this regard would mean a larger group of people would be having a strike together, and it would involve a substantial portion of workers from several different industries. So it wouldn't just be a strike by, say, for instance, Starbucks or Estee Lauder Luxottica or Kellogg's. It would be everybody, not just one sector, aiming to bring down major economic or political change. But here's the issue with a general strike. The first thing is let me back up. Typically, a traditional labor strike may or may not involve the company itself, right? But it could involve the union workers who are a part of that. Now, I do know that some companies who have employees have actually decided to go on strike as well without having that union representation there. Now, how successful those were, that's another thing, okay? Now, the goal can be varied. It can be improved labor. It can be improved labor. It can be, I'm doing a lot of this off the top of my head, improved labor, improved pay, improved health coverage, those kinds of things. So people are doing it for a long term to get a desired result, right? But in this instance, Mayor Johnson, who is the mayor of Chicago, he literally said, now this is according to Black Enterprise, y'all. He said at a rally in No Kings in Chicago, he said for unity across communities and sectors to mount what he called a general strike against corporate greed, concentrated wealth, and political power, he believes is undermining democratic accountability. Now, he also framed this as not simply a labor issue, but a social justice issue. So this is what he's talking about. Now, he invoked historical struggles, including slavery and mass collective action, to argue that if oppressed communities could mount large-scale resistance, then today's workers and citizens can do the exact same thing. Now, what he's suggesting is a change to the current and economic political situation that's currently happening in Chicago, but on a broader scale of involving anything that would deal with impacting the ultra wealthy and corporations that he believes are impacting the democratic bureaucracy that we know as the US of A, right? Now, a general strike in the scale of what he's talking about is rare. I don't think I've ever seen it in my lifetime. And here's the other thing. There are a lot of people that may not be comfortable with doing a general strike, because we're talking about a mass group of people who have considered or want to do this. And there's an issue, I think, with it as well, because right now, when we're talking about people who are, let me turn this down. When we're talking about people who want to strike or who want to do this protest or do the walk or the No Kings or whatever, you're also talking about a group of people, and we talked about this yesterday, but I'll bring it up again. When you talk about this, we're talking about people who literally don't have time to do it any other time except on the weekend. And we had this conversation yesterday. So for us to assume that having a general strike would be beneficial, I think we're asking a lot. And the truth is, the People Sick Day, the young lady of People Sick Day, she talked about this the other day. She said, gosh, I forgot her name. She said, y'all some punks. And I thought, whoa, that's kind of strong. Wait a minute, what did we say? She said, I am thoroughly convinced that we are not who we say we are, because we don't know how to work together to get this done. And a lot of people cannot afford that right now. Many people are close to losing everything. See, and that's another thing. So, Rosemary, the other thing is that there are things that are in place now that may not have been in place years ago that are in favor of the major corporations, the landlords, the mortgage companies, and things of that nature. And so when we're saying to do something of that magnitude, it may very well be difficult. Spread Love says, but we need to ask a lot right now before it gets worse. I mean, it's bad now, but it will get worse. And so to your point, I 100% agree. So I'm going to pose this question. So how do a group of people who foresaw it, like if this happens, this is going to be the effect. We're in the we're in the find out stage. You glad your van is paid for? Billy, I promise you that's the reason why I do not have a car note. And my car just hit 202,000 miles. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, I wished I would get a car note right now. And sometimes when I sit in my car, the O2 sensor needs O2ing right now. It needs to be replaced. So I just ordered the part. It's like $31. Now I got to pay somebody to either put it on or figure out how to dig my hand in there when the car's not hot and put it on myself. But so many people stand to lose so much for doing. What if everyone or most just stay home? A lot of people have considered that. They're doing a couple of things. Some people are filing exempt on their taxes. Some people are doing the No Kings protests. Some people are keeping more of their money in their pocket. I'm sorry, Nancy, what's your question? No shopping, no work. Right. Okay. So Nancy asked a question. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there because I'm going to answer that for you. When did you realize you didn't like Trump? What made you decide that? Let's be clear on one thing. It is not about not liking the man. I don't know him from a can of paint. What I question are his ethics, his behavior for years. We're not just talking about with him being in the White House. We're talking about before he even considered a career in politics. I know people personally, hey, Sheila, what is the filing exemption status? I heard that today too. You just go and do it. You go to your HR office and you can change your status to exempt. You can fill out the form. There are some things that you won't be able to stop, like Social Security and, FICA and stuff like that. But yeah. So this guy has done questionable business for years. And people like myself and others who have friends and family in New York have talked about this individual way before he became who we know today. I'm not talking about hearsay. I'm talking about people that experienced massive loss for doing business for him. And he refused to pay. And then he brought on attorneys that said, you're not going to get paid, and we'll tie you up in so much red tape and litigation, you'll never see a dime. And no, we're not going to pay. This man put out a full-page ad in the New York Times on 5 Black boys over a lie. Right? Not only did he do the real estate bid in New York, he turned right around and he did it in Vegas. I'm talking about saying that I don't like someone. That's not what it is. He wanted these babies executed, yes, and some of them still ain't right to this day behind it. He went out of his way to dog folks out in business. That part, I don't trust him. He's got enough money to hire the right people who will do the dirty work for him. And that ain't right. It ain't about not liking him. It ain't right. Gosh, I hope that makes sense. I never said I didn't like the dude. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I've seen the court documents of the cases for the young ladies, the little girls. I've seen them. And I just file it away. Because now I know how to treat you if I ever run up on you. You're not sorry? This is it. I hate him. So I just know that if it walks like a duck, if it looks like a duck, if that sucker got feathers, guess what? It's a duck. And you can dress it up any way you want. You can hire who you want to make you sound good. You know what I mean? You can do all of these things. It's not about me not liking him. It's just, this who this dude is. And he keeps getting away with it because he got enough money to get away with it. If any one of us did that, we would have been up under the jailhouse. Our reputation would have been destroyed. Sure did, spread love. Been destroyed. We wouldn't be able to do the thing. Yeah, he put the sketch in Sketchers. Trump, JGO. So my mother, and I say this often, but I tell this to my children too. Your reputation precedes you and will tell your story before you enter a room. So you must always be careful how you handle yourself and what you do. It's all you got. Yes, Laura. He has no consideration or love for his fellow man and has said as much just the other day on Nation. Yeah, I saw that. So that's kind of where my head is at on that, right? He already showed us who he is. And with that, time and time again, baby, I can take that to the bank and I can cash that. It doesn't, Laura, does it? And the hard part is that even though we have people who have entered the room and you're showing the flag, baby, I'm just as patriotic, but I know right from wrong. Child, I ain't worried about old Frank. You see what I mean? I ain't worried about that. Let him stay right on in here. So anyway, I hope that answered your question. I am a firm believer if I'm like Maya Angelou. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Right? That's it. Y'all want me to put him out? I can. He ain't bothering me. But let me go on ahead and put him out. We're going to block old boy. All right, so let's talk about, okay, so we covered general strike for JoJo. I just wanted to make sure that we covered that. Yeah, and that's okay. That's fine. Like I said, I have said this once and I'll say it again. Everybody on this planet has a reason and it doesn't always look like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially with everything that's happening right now in Gaza, you know, the things that we see that's happening in Sudan and in other places around the world where, you know, we have, humanitarian, we have people whose human rights are being violated every single minute, it seems like, of every single day. And unfortunately, the hard part is that we have people who come in here and try to spam and, you know, talk crazy and all that. It's time, isn't it? Eventually, spread love, it will be. But I'm saying all of that to say we definitely needed to talk about it because everybody has a purpose, and I know it's hard for some of us to remember. Let me back up and put this in perspective. And this is the hard part. A lot of you guys don't know. I lost my nephew last week, over the weekend, um, in Wisconsin. My niece, her son, lost his life. Um, and I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock. But I'm a firm believer that there is a time and a place for every single one of us on this planet. And it still stings because while it was happening and my family was doing what they needed to do when they got the news, I got the news because it had hit the news. Thank you for that. But in my soul and in the spirit that I embody in this physical body, I know that there is a time and a season and a reason for everything. And I don't like it, but there is a reason for everything. There is always a beginning and there is an end, whether we like it or not. There is room for growth and there is a loss and there is eternity. I'm not saying that to ease my grief. It is fact. And the selfish part of us wants what we want when we want how we want it. Because the whole factor in everything that we do is so that we can feel better. We do things so that we can feel better. We live this life and we do the things and we want the things that we want because we want to feel better about the life that we have. And all of this that we want in terms of this current administration and living the life that we live either here or wherever, it's because we want to feel better about what we have or what we're experiencing in this life. And the same holds true for what we're experiencing now as a country, what I'm experiencing as a great auntie who's 21 and a new dad. Wrong place, wrong time. Yeah. And I'm really, really processing it. Oh, just a baby. Beautiful soul. Just as sweet as he wanted to be. Young businessman. Yeah. Loved cars. Everything cars. Yeah. And I'm saying that to bring this back into perspective. Just as that, even though I don't like the way that it makes me feel, and I cannot imagine what my niece is going through or my sister, it is painful to know that it is really ultimately at the end of the day all about how things make you feel, either good or bad, even in this situation. Thank you, Divine. Thank you. Um, and it is hard to watch and know that even that man in that office, here's my point, has a purpose. And I have to sit in that. I have to marinate in that sometimes and say, he got a purpose. He is the rub that is necessary. I've said it often, but he is necessary. And when he is done, because one day he will be, and all of it together, all of them together, when they are done, something good will come out of the ashes. So each one of us that is living in this time right now needs to understand we don't like the way it feels because all we want to do is make sure that we feel good. So the collective, which is us, we're going to see to it that that happens. He's here for a reason. I know it in my spirit. Yep. I say it often. Wasn't no way that girl could have won. Because if she had, we'd be asleep. Hey, Latanya, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the neighborhood. You are officially a neighbor on Brownstone Worldwide. If you, and I hate to do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this. If you want to join us on TikTok, we're over here on TikTok too at Paulette on the mic. MIC, Paulette on the mic. Yeah, absolutely, Laura. And some people say, oh, it's not gonna happen in our lifetime. Let me tell you something. As fast as the universe is moving right now, baby, it's gonna happen so fast, we're gonna blink. And we're gonna be like, well, what happened? You know what I mean? Yep, that's right, Faith. AZD, really, baby? You can or not. It's up to you whether you wash your chicken. You know what I mean? So here's what I need us to do, and this is from a metaphysical perspective. Real talk, we need to get excited about shopping local. We need to get excited about reading up on what's happening around the world and take our focus. Whatever you focus upon, listen closely to me. Whatever you focus upon, you'll get more of the same. So if we continue to focus on the negativity, guess what we're going to get more of? The same. Whatever you focus upon long enough, you're going to get more of the same. Should we remain informed? Absolutely. But do not allow it to consume your emotion. The emotion is the energy that keeps that focus where it is. And if it's enough of us that are in that collective state of consciousness, it will materialize something. So an example, let's use the current the contest on November 4th. So many people were like, I don't want him in office. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people. Let's just put that in perspective. The collective. Of course, Faye. And a lot of people may disagree with me, but when you think about that, so the power of the collective consciousness can never be denied. The power of the collective consciousness can never be denied. Well, what do you think is happening right now? The collective consciousness can never be denied. So what's happening? We said, wait a minute, we don't want that experience. We want something else. And so now we're literally working together on a collective conscious level to say, we don't like that. Hey, Stabby, how are you? And the change must come. Not maybe, it shall. That's it. All right. I don't know how we got there, but anyway, I guess it was necessary. So let's jump right into what is happening in Sudan, because a lot of people aren't talking about it, and we definitely need to know. So here's what we do know. I'm going to give you a situational brief. You just completed your ballot yesterday, and I need to do the same thing. That's why he wants everybody attention on him 24/7, because the more that you focus on him, you're going to get more of the same. Period. That is law. That is a metaphysical law. I ain't make that up. Period. The thing that you see the most will come upon you. It's even, who said that in the Bible? Was it Job? He said, the thing that I feared the most has come upon me. The collective consciousness is all of us. It is us, the people. Change is amidst us. You can feel it. You can absolutely feel it. It's everywhere. And you don't even have to understand it, but it is here. There is a collective. So there are some people who, will always, trust and believe and do their thing. And there will be people that will always go to church and do their thing. But if you, and guess what? I'm from ministry. I walked away. That was my choice. After my near-death experience, I was like, no, I get it now. But everybody has their journey. and the levels that they choose to go through. So I don't knock wherever you are. Lost it all, gained double, force trouble. In the end, we will win. Period. That's it. So dark energy is physics proven. Metaphysical connection between everything. Yes, Lulu. So here's the thing. Yep, the press left the Pentagon last week. They said, no, we're not signing that. But I'm gonna tell you who stayed. You remember the pillow guy? He stayed. He has a media company. Yeah. So when you're looking at the different levels of your faith and your believing, if you are at a level and you're okay with learning new things and understanding sometimes when you step outside, why? OAN, that is correct. Yes, thank you. Yeah, the pillow dude. Y'all remember him? I kind of did the same thing, Divine. I was like, wait a minute, what? What we do? Oh, I'm out. That's kind of what happened to me. And then when I had my NDE, that was enough for me. I was like, no, I see things different. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Everybody is at their own journey. And I learned so much. And maybe one day, maybe for Halloween, I'll share the story. But anyway, so let's talk about Sudan. That's kind of what happened to me. Here's the nationwide picture. Right now, the largest displacement and hunger crisis on earth is at 30.4 million. Hey, Alan, come on in, honey. How are you this evening? That's over half of the country needs aid right now. So by late September, key indicators have continued to worsen. There's a famine risk and collapse of services. And that would be for several different reasons. Hold on just a minute. I can't believe we've been here an hour already. Here we go. Hang on just a second. Because, of course, you would ask me questions at this time of the night. Girl, just pretend. It's been, man, listen. Has it not? Talking to smart and knowledgeable people is a blessing. Is it not? I know, honey. Come on in here, Lou. Just grab you something. Grab your water. Get your juice. Get your snacks. Get your little whatever. And come on and sit down. All right. So what's happening right now is a humanitarian disaster that a lot of people aren't talking about. And I said, I'm going to start talking about it. So I did some research today. Let me pull it up. So right now, not hundreds of people, not thousands, millions of people are literally running from violence. Okay. So many people are currently starving right now and dying of violence, both SA and otherwise, physical violence, and disease is spreading so fast that the bodies are dropping where they are and they're not burying them. And so that's causing other issues as well. More than 30 million people to be exact. And that's literally over half of the Sudan population at this point. Okay, what do they need? They need food, they need water, or they need medical care. Now, people are being forced to flee. Over 10 million people have had to leave their homes to escape the fighting. And many are now living in overcrowded camps, which means that they're being impacted and exposed to diseases, waterborne diseases, because there's no fresh water. Cholera is no doubt rapid. More than 120,000 people have gotten sick. 3,000 have died. Bodies are literally in the street because of the constant fighting. So many people who lose their lives or die can't be buried right away. Water wells are being contaminated because of that, right? Making it even harder to keep people safe from sickness. So here's what we know is happening, and then here's something else I'm going to tell you. So Darfur is a region in Western Sudan, okay? We know that there's been fighting going on for what seems like forever. And right now it's actually gotten worse, but nobody's talking about it because we are hearing a lot about what's happening with Gaza, okay, and Hamas and Israel and so forth, right? So we keep hearing the same thing over and over and over, okay? Doesn't negate what's happening there. Tracy, this is the first time that you're hearing about this? My goodness. Well, then we definitely need to talk about some other things that are happening in Africa as well. Now, there is a group that is called the Rapid Support Forces, called the RSF, and their allies have attacked people from specific ethnic groups, especially the Masalit community. Okay? What they're calling it is ethnic cleansing. Mass graves. At least 87 people have been found in one mass grave. That means they were likely unalived and buried together without proper funerals. And El Fasher, a larger city in North Darfur, is surrounded by RSF forces. They've been bombed, their hospitals, their mosques, and their refugee camps. And it's been ongoing. Exactly. It sounds like the exact same thing. Now, dozens are dying each day. People inside El Fasher are dying from bombings, hunger, and disease, as well as essays, to the point that they're doing it to men, women, and children, boys and girls. I've seen actual video footage that I dare not share on my personal pages because everybody ain't like me. Where they're literally posting people up in precarious physical situations and torturing them that way until their demise. So so people are dying, and they're really giving the women a hard way to go, unaliving their entire family just so that they can have their physical way with them. And then they keep them alive just to do what they want with them until they're tired. Hey, Fleetwood, how are you? Come on in this room. Now, in January of 2025, the U.S. government officially said the RSF has committed genocide in Darfur. Good to hear from you. Why are my children calling me right now? So this is the second time in less than 30 years that genocide has happened in Darfur. The first time was in 2004. So somebody on Instagram told you had heard about this? Yeah. Human rights groups have reported targeted killings, forced removals, and the burning of communities. So here's a couple things you need to know. 30.4 million people need emergency help right now. Same here. Good to see you. You remember Miss B? 10 to 12 million people have fled their homes. 24 to 25 million people are going hungry. 120,000 plus cholera cases and over 3,300 deaths. There will be more violence in El Fasher. If RSF forces break into the city, thousands of civilians could die or be forced to flee. Cholera could spread beyond Sudan into neighboring countries like Chad. And the lack of aid. The UN and other organizations say there isn't enough money or access to deliver food, water, and medicine. And if this continues, more people will lose their lives from hunger and disease. So Sudan is under major crisis right now. People are losing their lives every day. There's bombings, there's hunger. But y'all, what do I always say? What do I always say? Let me pull this up. No, Lulu, it has nothing to do with it. This has been happening. The issue is, bingo, Devon. The issue is This has been happening well before this dude got back in office. This has been going on. Hang on. Y'all, it's not about ethnic cleansing at all. Follow the money. Follow the money. You ready? Why would the RSF be over there? You think? Think about that. What's in Africa? What's in Africa, y'all? What kind of resources? Keep going. What else? What else? Keep going. Miss Cleo hit it right on the head. Smarter hit it right on the head. Alexa, you got it. So let's talk about that. Who funds the RSF? That's the big question. Who funds the RSF? Golden Trade and Mining Interests. The RSF and its leader, Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, or Hemeti, that's what they call him, have captured large parts of Sudan's what? Gold mining sector. Come on, Cheryl. Come on. Come on. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. Well, who's a part of that? Their companies control gold production, allowing them to generate revenue independently of the state. Come on, Plant Love. Hey, bingo. Isn't that something? There you go. That's why I wanted to talk about this. Because how do you, now ask yourself this question, folks, and then, come on. It's not new. No. It's not to us. But for what about the people that are going, oh, right? But do we or do they? So let's yes, he did. But this is something different, Lou. So this has nothing to do. We're not even focused on him right now. We're focused on what's happening right now with the RSF. Why are they being funded? And what is it that they're trying to do? If you can cripple this nation, what exactly are they doing right now? Put it in perspective. Yes. Correct. For example, one report says Hemeti's network effectively captured. How you capture something and you taking it out of somebody's house? What do you mean? So somebody gonna come in here and capture this rug I just showed y'all in here? Another found that corporate and banking entities linked to the RSF siphoned civilian economy resources to fund it. U.S. Treasury designated the bank Al-Khalij Bank Ltd, controlled by the RSF, received $50 million from Sudan's central bank prior to the current conflict. Entities tied to the United Arab Emirates have been sanctioned for supporting RSF with finance and military equipment. Well, what's happening in the UAE right now that we can't seem to get enough of? Let me just do this. Come on now. Come on. Take the chocolate off and just say the first word. Bingo. They have been put in place to control the region, to siphon the gold, because guess who doesn't have gold in their region? But it seems like the entire city is paved in it. Bingo. So the RSF is getting its weapons and supplies smuggling in black markets. Sudan is surrounded by arms trafficking hubs. The RSF uses routes through Libya, Chad, Central African Republic, South Sudan to bring in weapons, fuel, ammunition. Foreign manufactured weapons. According to Human Rights Watch, the RSF has acquired new foreign made equipment such as drones, anti tank missiles, guided weapons, which indicates fresh. All I keep hearing in my head right now is diamonds are forever. Forever and ever. Remember that song? The RSF. Hold on. Go back up. Let's go back up. It is an organization that literally is headed up to control the region while folks come in and strip the region of its resources. The number one being gold. You got it. Pear cuts, square cuts, these rocks don't lose their shape. Yep. James Bond. That's what this is about, y'all. And a lot of people are not aware because we're not talking about it. You know how I found out about it? One of the people who has family in the region reached out to me. I've known about it, but I said, let me do some digging. How long have I been sitting on this? Here's my truth, at least 4 weeks. Because I wanted to make sure that I understood what was happening before I opened my mouth. You're new to this platform, follow the money and you'll always see what the fighting is about. Correct. Y'all really think that this fighting that's going on right now and this current being dishonest about the ceasefire is all about just complete annihilation? No. It's about the route to the what? The oil. But when you're peeling back the layers, it's going to always revert back to that. Bingo, Cheryl. Borders the Red Sea access to the oil. Quicker access. Yes. Black gold, Texas tea. Exactly. More blood money. You do research on that? That's good to know. You should come back and let us know about it. Yeah, that's what this is about. And yeah, should you be upset? Yeah, but here's something else. Now that you know what you know that maybe you didn't know before, now we can do something about it. So when we're looking at all of this, now we can understand why Ibrahim Traore is like, France, get out. And now we know why Burkina Faso is growing as fast as it is, because he said, no, we're keeping our resources for ourselves. I just think that if we dug a little bit deeper, we would understand why. And I don't, it's a couple things that I disagree with what he's saying. But look how far he's brought the country in such a short time. They're taking that money from the resources from their own natural resource that's on their land. And guess what? They like, oh, okay, well, let's go ahead and build better schools. Let's go ahead and redo these roads. You are Purple Lady? Hey, Paulette. Isn't this crazy? When you sit back and you think about it, this whole thing is bananas. So you get in there, and the French, from what I'm understanding, they don't even know how to recover from this. So what are they doing? They're reaching out to other people in other countries and saying, we got to get rid of this dude. Hey, Teresa, how are you? We got to get rid of this guy. He's a nuisance. He doesn't mean us any good. No, because he's sick of y'all. He wants you to leave us alone. Leave me alone, girl. I can find a song for anything. He did. He got that plane from Qatar. But you see how all it keep up, WP. I know it seems to be too much, but I always say, we say it often in here, follow the money. You follow that money, and I'm telling you, you'll learn a whole lot. That's what this is about. It's about the money. So people are losing their lives in mass. And then when you go to these other countries and you're all excited and you're like, yeah, I'm going to UAE, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And you get over there and y'all balling out of control and you're taking pictures and you're putting it in all over your social media and so forth. I keep thinking about the Kanye West version of that song and the music video. They're all connected. Follow the money. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's all, and here's the thing. We know. The question is, what do we do as a people? Do we just continue to know, or do we do something about it? And how do we do that? We all know what's going on. 24-hour vigil for Palestine this weekend. Wonderful. That's excellent. Imperialism and colonialism. Same script, different cast. Yeah, it is. Alan Lewis. But we need to know, because nobody's talking about Sudan. And it's the same thing. The one thing that we need to do is we need to start talking more about it. I got called out on it. You always talking about so and so and so. You don't need to talk about your own people. Wait a minute. Well, pause now. So, and I'm sitting here while I'm quiet. The reason why I'm quiet, number one, I'm saying, oh my God, it's just so much. But then the other thing is the first thing is we have to understand what's happening. No, those people are still without power, Rosemary. How we gonna call them, Fleetwood? Our Congress people are on they're on vacation. Aren't they? On our tax dollars. Yes, we do, Alan Lewis. We need to make a list of all the companies and corporations that support this kind of with behavior. And yes, they are on, they're all on. Yeah, some of them are taking vacations right now. Mm-hmm. They're being seen at airports, getting on flights and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yep. Alaska is really still suffering. Really suffering. I'm going to pull that up. I like this version of reporting with you guys because we can talk back and forth and do the banter. And that's what I'm saying, Plant Love. The thing is that a lot of people don't know, and I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. The people that I know that are going look like me, and they think they're balling, and they don't even understand that it's blood diamond. I'll put it like that. That they're standing on. All right, so here's what we know so far about the remnants of the Typhoon Halong that struck western Alaska. It's actually still impacting remote native villages right now. More than 1,500 people are still displaced, and at least one person has died, and two are missing in the storm's aftermath. That's still going on, so they're still looking into where those other two people are. The storm surge and flooding were catastrophic in Kipnuk. Reports say 90% of the buildings have been destroyed, and I'm going to try to do this, y'all. In Quigilinok, I think maybe 35% of the buildings are gone. Freshwater supplies have been contaminated. Yeah, it's a typhoon, not a tsunami. Relief efforts, including evacuation, shelter, and aid delivery. Volunteers from American Red Cross have flown in from Hawaii to assist. And corporations like Amazon and others have been delivering emergency supplies via air to Anchorage to assist impacted remote villages. Now, some villages still have been without power since this happened, and that's like day 25, I think. No power, no water, utility outages. Some people can't even get outside still as of today. Hey, Sugar Mama, how are you? The Native American school, Quigilinok, only the school reportedly had full power initially, but lacked working toilets, and many occupants, 400 people, have been staying in the school gym under harsh conditions. You're just now leaving the university. Oh, you're a professor? What you teach, Sugar Mama? Now, here's the issue. Alaska, like where I'm from in Wisconsin, it gets cold around this time of year. So now winter is starting to show up. Did you hear about the water shortage happening around the U.S. due to climate change and AI? Oh my God, today. Let me make a note of that, because now we need to talk about that and these data centers that are popping up all over the place. Your guess is as good as mine, honey. Where is FEMA? All right. Infrastructure, utilities have been impacted, evacuation and shelter logistics, power, utility outage scope impacted, long-term relocation and rebuilding is absolutely an issue. And here's the thing. Hold on. Well, Sharika, I'm going to keep it 100 with you because they've been bought. Oh, God, Alan. And I'm from the Great Lakes. That's a problem. All right. So according to reports, FEMA staff from Region 10, they've been on the ground in Western Alaska helping evacuees and participating in emergency operations. So they've been there, and they were actually there before the full disaster. So the state of Alaska's Emergency Operations Center lists FEMA among the many agencies activated for the response. So Trump approved today, federal disaster declaration for Western Alaska, unlocking federal resources and making FEMA the coordinating federal agency for recovery. Why the hell did it take 25 days? The official listing of the disaster on FEMA's publicly accessible disaster database lagged behind some of the state's leadership statements. Some tribal local communities said they hadn't seen full clarity yet. I have not talked about the No Kings rally today. Yeah, but I did. I talked about it the day that it happened. I ran some reports on it. Yeah, I did talk about it. So bottom line is that FEMA is present and mobilized on the ground, helping Alaska respond to the massive storm damage, according to, let me pull this all the way up because I'm reading just snippets of it. According to my sources here, Alaska News Source and ready.alaska.gov is talking about it, and the Alaska Beacon said that they are on the ground. Okay. There you go. I heard about that, Rosemary. All right, so let's talk about data centers. They are a problem. In the city that I live in, there have been 2 data centers that have been approved and are on the ballot to be voted on. And I forgot what they're voting on. I know that they've just rezoned an area. And the concerns are this. Let's talk about that. Number one, you hear a lot of things about what data centers supposedly do for areas, but they don't talk about the impact that it has on the environment, what it does for your power bill, what it does for your water bill. Okay. So I'm talking from personal experience about this. Hey, Deals with Nia, how are you? AI is becoming a problem because they use so much water. Not only water, and here's the thing, this is what they tell you. Oh, happy Wednesday to you too, sweetie. Here's what they tell you. They say the water is recyclable. It's just going to continue to recycle, but it uses so much per day, and it's to cool the system of the data centers. So the one in Fayetteville, Georgia, there are people there that have literally made decisions to leave Fayetteville, Georgia completely. Yes, AI uses water. Here's the other thing. They say, oh, it's going to bring jobs. It's going to do this. Here's what they don't tell you. And I learned this because some of the things that I do here locally, I actually helped film some portions of some concerns that people have here. So they did like this whole town hall thing, and people, these are some of the questions that they have. And then some of the board of commissioners here were like, oh, well, this is what it does. This is what we know, XYZ. That part, Carol Sue. Hey, Carol Sue, what is the reason for the data centers? The data centers is what's holds the data and the information that you're using, first of all, for AI. It's a large building that's literally filled with tons of servers. Think the Matrix for real, in real life. Okay? Thousands of supercomputers are being placed all over the U.S. Fleetwood said, I hate AI. Y'all, if you don't know Fleetwood has been saying since the beginning, I hate AI. So these servers power the internet. It powers your social media. It powers cloud storage, banking, government systems, gaming, streaming, and AI. It's all the things. So companies like Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, all these major companies that we use on a daily basis are building these huge data centers around the world. Now, here's what they're not telling you guys. Most data centers, if not all, they're trying their best to keep them. Here's the hard part, because we talked about this already. Some of you guys like Cheryl, Carol Sue, Kayshawn, and others, you guys know we talked about this months ago. There is a data center that is in Memphis, Tennessee. Is it Memphis? I think it is. That is causing people to get sick. So they're placing them where? Where do you think that they're placing these data centers? In Black communities, in rural communities, where the people have what? No political power. And now with all of the gerrymandering that is going on right now, the political power won't even be large enough to be seen when it comes to the White House. So they're putting them in Black communities, in poor, underserved communities, because the value of these people's lives aren't anything to sneeze at as far as they're concerned. So they can afford to put it there, but not in my backyard. As long as you're not putting, and you live in Memphis, so you're aware of it, right? So the one I'm talking about is the one that Elon Musk had built. And the president of the local chamber of commerce literally went and vetted him to bring it in, hold up, and blocked local politicians from even being a part of meetings about it. Blew my mind that they wouldn't even let this young man in. Well, anyway, so we know that people in the area are experiencing breathing problems. They're experiencing problems with their water, and it's starting to happen in Fayetteville, Georgia. So if I have any Georgians in the building, you know what I'm talking about. One of the main states that is currently experiencing a growth in data centers is in Georgia. So they're popping up everywhere. Okay, so let's talk about how water is actually used. So let's say, for instance, for every computer that I have running right now, which I have 4 running, one here, one here, one here, one there. Here's what y'all need to know. I have to keep them cool. So what do I do? Each one of them has a fan that I sit it on. So as it's running, especially when I'm working throughout the day, because I do a lot of reports and meetings and so forth. And then this one, so Cityscape Radio, true story, is physically not on here. I use it as a window to physically see the server that the radio station sits on. That takes a lot of power because it's sitting on a server in Dallas. Yeah. There you go. So in order for me to see it, this sucker has to run literally 24/7. I can program it. I can log in. I can go to the server in Dallas right from here. So I have to be able to see it on a regular basis, right? So in order for me to see it, I got to keep this computer running, and it has to stay cool. This one here has to stay cool. So I bought these little, y'all seen them, and these little plates that you put up under it. It has a fan on it. You plug the fan into the little USB port, and it runs it cool. It's got to stay cool, or it may damage the motherboard. It may damage other components on the inside. And there have been times where this one has overheated so that the battery almost exploded. Yeah, so I bought these little, and it's the same thing. So think about me having to do that for these little ones. Now imagine the amount of data that we use every single day with our cell phones, with clouds and AWS and all of this other stuff. Remember, AWS just went down. Okay, so all of this stuff is happening in real time, and we say what we don't want. You go spread love. You have a great night. So when we're talking about all of this information that we're utilizing, from Facebook to doing the work, a lot of us work virtually. I work virtually. If I don't have to go into a client's facility, I don't. I can take my work wherever I go. And yeah, you've had it happen many times. Yes. So you understand keeping things cool. These suckers are massive. What Elon Musk did was the gas turbine engines that he said he only had 15 of, it was actually over 30. He lied. They didn't have the proper permits, and I understand they still do not have the proper permits. Also, Cheryl's gone. Good night, Cheryl. S.R. Brillinger. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. You get it? Oh, you were saying bye to Cheryl. I picked up on that. My bad. All right, so here we go. Servers get hot when they're running. Same thing with my computers. So like a laptop gets warm, you gotta keep them cool, especially if you use them as much as somebody like myself or anybody else. Yep. So what they've done is they created what's called evaporative cooling. Okay. Hot air from the servers are cooled down with water-based systems. This often involves pushing hot air through wet pads or towers where evaporation helps lower the temperature. Chilled water loops. Some data centers pump cold water through pipes to absorb heat from the servers. And it's supposed to do like this and be recyclable. But of course, the water is going to evaporate. So, of course, it's going to always be pulling from what? The water source. Here's an example would be the city that I live in. The city that I live in, literally, and I learned this, yes, I learned this recently about a month ago. The city that I live in literally has the cleanest water source in the state of Georgia. We provide water to about 8 different counties from here where I live. So other counties depend on our water source for everything, for their businesses, for their restaurants, for homes, all the things, right? If they are bringing data centers here, right now I understand that there are 2, I'm giving my county as an example. They're bringing 2 here that have been approved. There are people here that want it because they've been told that there are jobs that come behind it. I think personally that if it's done right, it could work. But right now, people all over the state of Georgia are like, oh, nah, bro, we don't want that in our backyard. Do y'all realize what it could do? XYZ. So back up in Piccolo, even centers that use more efficient cooling methods still keep water heavy systems as a backup. So a typical data center can use 3 to 5 million gallons of water a day. About as much as a city of 30,000 to 50,000 people. Let that sink in. That's a lot of water, y'all. That's a lot of water. So water scarcity. Here's the reason why it's an issue. Exactly, Alan. Many data centers are built in dry regions like Arizona, Utah, and parts of Spain, which is why they're trying to come here, which is why they want the Great Lakes. Because see, here's the thing about the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes is the only body of water, and I would know this because I was born and raised in the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes are the only body of water that self-replenishes and heals. And to this day, they still don't know how it does it. Isn't that something? They still don't know. So yeah, you would probably want to try to get one there. Didn't know that. Yep, it is a thing. And they will. But if they haven't figured out how, the issue is it the cells regenerate themselves. If that makes sense. Mother Nature, yep. It's the only body of water that does it. So yeah, I want to try to be near something that's going to be replenishing itself. You're in Ohio? Okay, so you understand what I'm talking about. And I hope it stays that way. I don't know about Wisconsin, where I'm from, because we're up against Lake Michigan. Okay, so the cooling systems push hot air back in the environment, adding local heat stress to cities and towns, which means what? There will be an increase in people's power supply and how much they're paying. That's the concern. So who's going to pick up that slack? Okay. The other one is you say, oh, it's going to bring jobs here. It is a data center. It is not a manufacturing facility. There will not be any shipping and receiving. It is a data center. If you don't know anything about servers and how to keep those suckers running, or having any kind of backup and security when it comes to online this or that or whatever, you're not going to be working out there. And here's the thing. If anything, I just sat here and I told you all that the radio station, the servers are in where? Dallas. I don't need to go to Dallas to run the station. And the biggest reason why I did it is at one time I did have a server and I was running it here and it kept shutting down on me. And so I was like, no, best thing for me to do is to get a virtual cloud. And your light bill went up, didn't it, Tiffany? Yeah. And people have a right to be upset about this. These data centers have become an issue. So real world examples. Mesa, Arizona, Google's data center uses millions of gallons of water in a drought zone. You already in a drought. What? Can I get some water, please? So local people have protested, saying water should go to homes and farms first. Your light bill is obscene, going to end up like that Aaron Brockovich story. Because the people in Memphis have already said it's an issue when people are sick. The Dallas, not Dulles, Oregon Google residents didn't know exactly how much water the center was using until a lawsuit forced the city to release the data. It was a quarter of the city's local water supply. You see why people are concerned? And it's almost gone. In Lake Mead, wow. Okay, so the issue is local rural communities are going to be impacted if something isn't done properly. So, oh yes, we can do all this, we can do it, but can you guarantee me my light bill's not going to go up? Can you guarantee me that my water bill will not be impacted? Matter of fact, the quality of my water. Let's talk about that. Will I still be able to shower? Or will I be like the lady who was complaining? Her and her husband were living in this house like 11 years or something like that. And then the data center moved in and now she has sediment in her water. Where the hell that come from? This is in Fayetteville. Look up Lake Mead and Colorado River. The lines on the mountain are where water used to be. Get out of here. Litmus H2O shortages to see how these areas would respond. And the thing is, they already know, the research is out there. But I think some of these counties that are willing to do it are looking at it from a monetary perspective. How can we help homeowners and businesses get the tax break? Because if they come in, that will help absorb some of that cost that we need to run these counties. Can we just get together and sue for Mental Rosemary? Oh, I'm so sorry. Which is still not fixed. Flint is still not fixed, y'all. I do want y'all to know that. Still not fixed. Isn't that something? After all these years. So there's that. So we talked about that. Where it was something else we were going to talk about. I'm not going to upset y'all any more tonight. I don't want to do that. It seems that way because it's about the money. It is absolutely about the money. I keep saying follow the money, and it's hard. It's hard when you're getting up, you're going to work, you're doing all the things you're supposed to do, and they tell you to do everything decent and in order, and to have and to do everything with integrity and so forth, and this, and then you wake up and they done tow the east wing completely off of the doggone White House, and people are online saying so, and I'm like, you all do not even understand. What happened to all the artifacts that were there? Oh, they put them in storage. You got it today, Carol Sue. Excellent. Yes, that's good. Laura, not anymore. And they still haven't gotten the proper paperwork for the NCPC, which is the organization that they were supposed to get the permission to do the actual construction with. Yeah. So the Trump administration has literally figured out a way in the wording. And see, this is why everybody can't be a lawyer, because everybody doesn't have ethics. They figured out a way, a little loophole that says, we don't need your permission to do the demolition. We needed your permission to actually do the construction. So we're going to go and tear it up because we want to. Do first, ask for forgiveness later. Now, I've heard that, Tiffany, that there's a bunker under there. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research before I open my fat trap about anything. because that's the word on the streets, is that there's a bunker under there and all that. And nothing at this point would surprise me. It really wouldn't. The Nixon tapes. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our Congress people. I've been taxes for that property for years. Tennessee Rolls. I know, but that's a historic. I know it, honey. And I know. I know. Okay. Who did we stop off on? I've been paying. Oh, that was my house. I know, Tennessee Balls. I'm trying to. You see me over here? I'm just gonna drink my water. All the president's men. No. So what I did today, y'all, before we talk about our senators, I'm sorry, our Congress people today, or senators, is I did do a balance piece today about the pros and cons of the ballroom. And it was hard for me to do that because I know where my heart is. My heart says you were wrong for doing it and you didn't do it ethically. But my business brain said, all right, let's dig deep and find out why it was really done. Is this a quid pro quo thing? Is it? Because it could be said without writing. If I ever need you, bro, you got me. Yeah, I got you. This is water tonight. This is water. Because if it were wine, which is my drink of choice, or vodka, I would already be up under the table. I would be looking at the back of my eyelids right now. And I have literally been up since 5:30 this morning. I am exhausted. I still haven't figured it out. I still haven't. And I know it's an easy research on who the construction contract belongs to. So they're paying them fat dollars. They got to be. In order for, my thing is money shouldn't be able to just allow you to just do anything. You should not succumb to money like that. If somebody gave you $20 million to do something that was unethical, would you do it? Not legal. I said unethical. There is a difference. I wouldn't either. It would be hard to walk away from, but I wouldn't either. Oh, Rosemary, of course. Yes, honey. And I'm tired because of it. But of course, absolutely. Now, am I going to sleep late tomorrow? Yes. I'll probably sleep until about 6. I couldn't do it in my heart either. It would be like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Luke Mead is predicted to reach record low by 2027. Nevada, Arizona, and California need it. That is crazy. Look at, I'm making notes. I'm going to research that. Thank y'all for this. Whenever you all tell me stuff like this, I'm going to start writing them down. PM? In the morning, you mean? No, I'm usually up. I usually wake up about 5. I don't roll out of the bed, literally roll. You know how you do the older you get, you got to wait for your body to kind of expand because it kind of has flattened out over the night. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to roll out the bed and then just kind of sit on the edge of the bed. I know I'm not the only one that's doing this at that age. Oh, Lulu, I cannot. Fleetwood, you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. So today, 3-hour meeting. My baby girl just called. I'm like, oh my God, do y'all not know I go live the same time every night? All right, so here we go. Let's talk about Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego for Arizona. Who knew? Both of these are Democrats, and we want to talk about their PAC dollars really quick. Let's go there. Why are we doing this? Because we need to follow the money so you can make good decisions. Where is it? Laura, you understand. You do that. Because you have to lay there and be like, okay, am I up yet? Okay, let me check and see how I feel. If I feel like I need to go back to sleep, I will. I don't have the luxury of doing that. So what I did do was I have a tablet near my bed. So when it's time for me to get up, and I have to do the welcome to the neighborhood, and I check the news to see what's going on, and you all get that cute little thing on my timeline, no matter where you are. It's probably because I did it sitting up in the bed, and then I might zonk back out, and then, telling on myself. But sometimes I can't get out the bed. I be like, I'm so tired. All right, here we go. I was talking about Arizona. Who was it? Mark. I did all this research. Where is it? Here we go. Kelly. Senator Mark Kelly. Here we go. Here's who he took PAC money from. It takes me a half hour to get up. Man, listen, let me tell you something. Turn it purple. Whatever we need to do. Senator Majority PAC wins Senate. He got, this is a super PAC network. Senator Mark Kelly, Democrat out of Arizona. He got, this is on Open Secrets if anybody wants to know. All right. He gave a full disclosure amount, $50 million. No. Incomplete, $323,000. Here are the committees that he took money from for his campaign. Club for Growth Action, Senate Majority PAC. Club for Growth Action, he got $6 million from. Senate Majority PAC, $3 million. Saving Arizona PAC, $8 million. What is, if anybody, okay, wait a minute. What's going on? What's happening? I was like, okay, is it some new, has some news dropped? All right. National Republican Senatorial Committee, $9 million. Whenever you see me do that or hear me say that, not the astronaut, sorry. Oh, it's okay. So when I do that, I want you all to know this is how much money somebody paid to counter him. So the National Republican Senatorial Committee gave $9 million in advertising dollars against this senator. Living on United Change for Arizona, he got $279,000 from. Priority USA Action, $6 million. The National Rifle Association, he got $658,000 from. Planned Parenthood, he got $158,000 from. And the list goes on. So and if you go over to Open Secrets and you look up the senator, you'll be able to see exactly how much money and what PAC or political action committee they got money from. Okay. Why is this important? Bingo. Follow the money. Follow the money. You need to know what PAC gave him money, and then you need to find out what that PAC stands on. What business they stand on, sis? Follow the money. It is, Laura. That's it. And here's the thing, and I've kind of said this in jest and just playing around, but you need to think about it like this with all of these different organizations, because it literally outlines on Open Secrets who gave what and how much, and they have to file that. Now, here's the thing. Somebody's sitting up in a room trying to decide right now how in the world they're going to pay for their campaign. Well, through PACs and super PACs, they can get it paid for. But if you take those folks' money, guess what you got to do? You got to eventually pay the piper. I agree, Rosemary. No, you do not. You can donate, but you do not. But you eventually you have to pay these people in some way. And how do you do that? Through lobbies. They're going to come see you. They're going to come hang out. Who else does it? APAC. Same thing. So it'll tell you for certain where this money, and the money can only be, they can't use it to live on or anything. Period. Miss Cleo said all money ain't good money. And all of a sudden I hear, call me now for my free reading. Remember her? Because all money ain't good money. And at the end of the day, you have to make a decision for yourself. Who am I going to take money from? You did. But Mike Kelly is a Democrat. Mark Kelly, I'm sorry. Make sense? Yep. Open Secrets. And you can go there and you can see. You can see who these people are. I'm never going to tell you nothing that you can't look up for yourself. So here we go. Senator Ruben Gallego. Let's go over there and see who he got money from. He got $26,106,505 to his campaign, and $20 million was used against him to try to keep him out of office. How do they do that? Through advertising dollars. That's what this is for. Just thought y'all needed to know that. Let's go over some of the PACs and the super PACs and the 501c3s that gave him money. Let's see. Ooh, that's a lot. Let me go back over here to my other list. He took money from Coalition Bank, which is Coinbase, Democratic Senatorial Campaign, Schumer aligned super PAC for Democrats, LCV Victory Fund. So what I did was I wanted to find out, let's say, for instance, I wanted to find out who LCV Victory Fund is. Right. You need to know. You absolutely need to know who's against them. I thought there were people complaining that Democrats were taking APAC, because they are. Some Democrats did take APAC money. Yep. Cory Booker took APAC money. He said, oh, well, in the past 15 years, I've only taken 1%. I don't care if you took 2 cents. Your market shopping campaign. Cory Booker took it. Hakeem Jeffries has taken it. Yeah. I think there may be like 3 or 4 senators and people in Congress who have not taken APAC money. But you got to remember, there's more than just APAC. APAC's just the big one. Yeah. So LCV Victory Fund gave him $2.8 million. Now here's why they targeted him, because he's a clean energy guy. Correct, it is, Alan. APAC with an AIPAC. And it is it has been around for so long, and people are just used to being around. They don't even think that APAC money, they're literally taking our money, funding these campaigns. Listen closely, funding these campaigns to get people in office, flying those newbies over to Israel for their little 2 or 3 day little tour of what's going on, their little 3-hour tour. And then, because that's what it was gaslighting. I don't even pay attention to him anymore, Carol. So it's like, bro, do something, grow a pair. So when you think about it, our tax dollars, since we're the ones that's donating this money to these organizations, to these countries, they turn right back around and they take the money that we gave them to fund these people, to get them back in office, to get what they need, which is what they need: weapons, they need tanks, they need all of these things. And then that money is taken from tax dollars, a portion of what we earn, and we're paying taxes on, it's given right back to them. So they're using our own money for us to be a part of what's happening overseas. How that make you feel? What color are your hand? The palms of your hand? They're red. And you don't even have no say that they literally, without your consent, are putting the weapon in our hands. And I hate to put it like that, but I really want us to start stopping and thinking. That's exactly what it is, Leslie. And the only reason why I want to make sure that we have these conversations is not to piss you off and infuriate you, but just so that you're fully aware. We have a right to know where our money is going. You know what I mean? Like, we should know. We absolutely need to know. So there's that. Now, yeah, California, Doc, you're right. Don't hate to say it. It is what's happening. Yeah. Reopening 2,100 USDA offices with their own people, because remember, they fired some folks. Exactly, spread love. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're exempting themselves if they're employed. It is, and it's strategic, Lulu. It is absolutely strategic. It's been insightful. Awesome. Chosen nurse, I'll be back. Because I need to shut it down. I have a very bad habit of staying on here for 2 and 3 hours. And I need to get my rest tonight. But let me tell y'all something. We learned a lot tonight, didn't we? Which part is not clear? Rosemary. I don't want to leave anybody unclear if I can help it. When you claim exempt, they won't take out as much tax. And a lot of people that I know that do it, you put 0 under that. Stabby said they did it. Yeah, you can claim exempt. And here's the thing, it's your right to do it if you want to do it. Now, you can't claim exempt on your Social Security or your it's something else you can't claim, like FICA or whatever the heck that is. It's on there. You can literally say, or you can reduce how much tax you're giving. Of course, Iora. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us today. A lot of people are doing it. They're like, oh no, you can't have my money, bruh. Because you're literally feeding into this machine. And you don't have any say with that. That's the only thing that gets me, is there's only so much that you can do. And it really comes down to, where is my money going? It depends on how much you're making. It was good. You're most welcome, Laura. Please, it ain't going to be too long. I'm going to be out of here too. I'm exhausted tonight. I'm really tired. Yeah. So here's what I'll do. I'll dig in and I'll do some research. I have a couple of friends that own some tax offices here because they were telling me that more and more people are filing exempt. Yeah. Because they don't want to give into the establishment. Because like you said earlier, I forgot who said that. You have a good night, Fleetwood. Good night, Eminem. All right, Sugar Mama. Good night. You all take care. Of course, Carol Sue. So listen, before we wrap, remember, I'll be back tomorrow. I must get some rest. I need to soak my body, my bones, and I need to get some rest. But listen, we covered a lot today, as we always do. And I hope that you all are getting something from this that you can take with you, Laura and others, Rosemary, and do something with it so that you are empowered and not angered to the point where you lie down. You know what I mean? Like, this is so important for us to get in these rooms as neighbors and do more with the information rather than just take the information and not, we're sitting in rooms and we don't know what to do. I don't want us to operate like that. We have to be proactive. We have to understand, and we also have to be proactive. And we need to continue to tell the story of the narratives of the stories that are not being told, like that in Sudan, and what's really going on. All right, keep up, WP. Hope to see you soon. All right, folks, we're out of here for tonight. I'm out of here. 3 things that I always like to tell people before we end every single show. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because you only get one you might as well enjoy it. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. You guys, I will see you in these internet streets. Go ahead and join us at brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and you guessed it, Brownstone Living Magazine. We'll see you around. Have a great night, guys. Bye.
Welcome to Brownstone World.